Good morning, everybody.
It's not on other people, it's on yourself.
Good morning. So this is not this is not going to be our longest broadcast. Good morning. So it's 9:18. We're going to be on till about 9:45. So this is going to be a short broadcast, but good to see you, Lady Wolf, everybody. Tonight will be our bigger broadcast from 11 to 1 for 2 hours. So this morning is just kind of a mini broadcast. And just because I was doing earth-based chores that, you want to do around the house in the morning when you can. Got to take care of the earth-based stuff too. So welcome to Encounters, short edition. This is the morning show. Tomorrow morning we'll try to be on for an hour and 15 minutes. Good morning. All the new people coming in here. Good morning, South Carolina. Jason, A408, everybody, good morning, wherever you are. Please share and like, and then to like, you just press and tap the screen. You'll see hearts start popping up. And then on the top right corner where it says Commander, it will go up. Where it says 185, that will be going up. So whatever we get today for likes is fine. We're only going to be on for a short period of time. And when you think about it, most of your TV shows are on for only an hour. But we do a regular 2-hour show at night. Hey, Lavella, good to see you. Good to see everybody coming in here. There's still some earth-based things I want to do, so I'm not going to have the longest broadcast this morning. Thank you, Cy-Hunt. We appreciate that. Bakersfield, California, checking in. What am I talking about? I just posted, I have 2 more shows to post. I got one of the shows posted. I'm 2 behind. I'll have those posted today. And we'll be caught up with last night's show today. That'll be on my YouTube channel, Astronaut Command Spaceship News. That's my main channel for all recorded encounter shows. So please check that out. Okay, you might as well cut the middleman and just read. With 15 minutes of info, 30 minutes of filler, and 15 minutes of ads, you might just cut the middleman out and just read. M-Dub, welcome to the show, M-Dub. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Good morning. Cecilia Geist, Robert D. So just for new people coming into the show, hey, Brian, I'm CmdrAleon, host of the most popular spiritual UFO show on social media, Encounters. I'm also a host of 21 years on NPR Pacific Radio of the Cosmic Eye, dedicated to the Astronaut Command, which are the positive space people throughout the universe. I'm also a contactee. I'm also a C5 activist, and we have our Astronaut Command C5 project here in Connecticut for over 13 years. And we're coming up with a new event on September 14th in Madison, Connecticut. If you are interested in attending our C5 event, you have to go to my main page on my profile where there's a video and email contact information if you're going to attend. We are going to gather our group together to make visual contact with our star family and also potentially physical contact. That's the goal of our group always, and that will be the goal on September 14th. Good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome to the short morning edition. Normally when I come on in the morning during the day, we try to do at least an hour and 15 minutes, but this morning we're not going to do a very long one because, again, like I said, I'm trying to get some earth-based chores done here, which are also necessary to do as well, as we all have. And what we like to do is have people share their stories. We've always had great stories. It's very spontaneous on the show. We never know who's going to be here, who's going to show up and find our show. But we found many, many people that are having contact with space people. People have been abducted. People that have interesting stories to tell about their UFO sightings, disclosure. We cover all that here on Encounters. because we're a show. Listen, something happened last night in California with UFOs. Edward, you in California? And who's in California that knows that something happened? Now, I've been watching some video footage, and I discussed this last Sunday on my show. Okay. I discussed this, Edward, last Sunday on my show a little bit. All these TikTokers are creating videos like they're excited that something major happened, like there was these UFOs over that were multicolored in a line coming down. And I will say that those were not spaceships. Those were some sort of computer operated technology that is not extraterrestrial. I know the people that are like going nuts trying to go viral with this thing and saying it was, they were coming and this is it. I don't want to burst any bubbles, but that's why the commander has been very level-headed about what I've been seeing and analyzing. It's a drone show, yeah. But all these other people think it's a UFO, it's a spaceship or spaceships. They're not. It was from a drone show or a drone technology, either a drone show or it was the government testing out some sort of a major drone, but it wasn't a spaceship. And if anyone in California had seen this thing, and you want to talk about it, I'm open to hearing what you've seen. So I'd love to hear some stories from people that were out in California that saw this thing in Lancaster, Palmdale. So if you're in Lancaster, Palmdale, and you're listening to the show, watching it, what did you see? But from the videos I've seen, this thing was computer controlled by some sort of computer, but it was not a spaceship. It was definitely drones of some sort. So I want to put a clarity to that whole thing. That's why I haven't been, I didn't make some elaborate videos saying, oh, wow, they just had a major spaceship encounter in Lancaster, California. Want to see stuff that's real, go on my main page. I just posted a video of 2 diamond-shaped spaceships on the main page, and you'll see it's beautiful how they separated and they're diamond-shaped. And that stuff's real. This other stuff in Lancaster was not a spaceship or spaceships. It was all controlled technology of some sort of a drone or drones by somebody or some buddies who were professional. And it probably was very expensive, or an expensive drone or drones, but it was not a spaceship. So I don't want to deflate anybody's ego who's been posting videos making it sound like, I've been watching all these videos from people and they're making it sound like, oh, this major thing happened. It's not major, it's a drone or drones. I'm a contactee, so I've had many experiences with spaceships, but those weren't spaceships. Unfortunately. When the spaceships come, you will see them. When the real spaceships show up, you will see them, and they won't look anything like that. That I can guarantee you. And the way we work it here is if you've had any encounters, sightings, disclosure information, encounters with space beings, visitations, abduction experiences, and you want to talk about it, you can talk about it here on Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show, normally on at night at 11 o'clock. We're at a 2-hour show. We have usually, last night we had over 300 people. We usually get 250 to 300, which is average for us, which is pretty good. But if you have a story to tell, you must be over 18. No kids on the show, no paranormal discussion, no cursing, no vaping, no drinking, no drugs, no drunks. And we stay strictly on the cosmic area, outer space area, no paranormal. So if you want to come up, you have to be over 18. If you have a story you want to share with us on Encounters this morning, we'd love to hear about you. I used to live in a lost village in Mexico. What do you mean a lost village? That's interesting. What do you mean you lived in a lost village in Mexico? Hey, Ann Cole. Good to see you. Good morning. I'm reading people's comments here. And if you, Namaste Ann Cole, if you have had an experience, write in the comments why you want to come up. Tell me a little bit about your story, whether you've been in visitation, contact, abduction story, encounters with UFOs. Tell me in the sentences why you want to come up. And I know there's a lot of people with stories to tell, always. With 99 people on here this morning, I'm sure some of you have had experiences. I'm absolutely certain of that. Hey, Southern Gypsy, welcome. Good morning. Deborah. Billy McDonald, welcome to the show. Kimberly Hobbs. Toby, welcome to the show. User 700. C something, HORB, C Horb, user 434. The beginning would appear at dark early in the morning and would come out of the lake in a flash. The being. So I'm going to bring this person up here. Okay, we're going to bring you up, I think. We're going to try to bring you up. First guest. This is going to be good. Okay, good morning.
The aliens came down and butt fucked me.
Oh, shoot, not this. Let me just take this person out.
Controlling the world.
I knew I'm going to take this person out here, man. All right. They are blocked. I just blocked them. That's not happening. Good thing I'm quick on the button here as host of the show. Once in a while, these people come through, these trolls. Nope. Not happening. Not on this show. Kara, I know Kara's a good person, recent guest. We're going to bring Kara up. Hey, Kara, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, I had to take that person right out. we get that once in a while here on Encounters, but we don't let that happen.
Yeah, I think you get that everywhere.
Yeah, but good morning. How are you doing? You've been on the show before. How's everything going?
Wonderful. I'm doing great, actually. I think the spiritual protection has done wonders, and things have been a lot better. I actually I don't know if you're good with geolocation, but I was in, Carbondale?
Oh, yeah, Carbondale. I've heard of Carbondale.
Yeah, I was cruising around there yesterday, observing some of the maybe some of the land that the government might use for extraterrestrial contact.
Really?
So, in the past, I would like to tell a story from my dad. He used to play in Carbondale as a kid, and the one time there was a crash landing in one of the ponds out there, and the government had come in real quick and put some tarps over the pond to kind of hide the orange glow that was radiating out of the pond. So while a couple bystanders kind of hid in the woods and watched, the government kind of cleared the area out. They notified all civilians that it was just a lantern that was in the bottom of the pond radiating the glow. So they had a scuba diver go in and, pull out a lantern to show everybody so everybody could go home and be at peace of mind.
Right.
So after that was cleared out, the bystanders hiding in the woods waited and watched them pull a round, like, hovercraft out of the pond, and they loaded it on the back of a flatbed truck, covered, and hauled it out.
Really? So this thing was glowing and it was in the pond, right?
Correct.
How big was it?
I don't know because I wasn't personally there myself, but my father said when they loaded it up, it was, the back of a flatbed truck. You can imagine the size of that,
It's
and
pretty big.
he said it took up a decent size. It obviously they had it covered, so you couldn't really tell what it looked like, but I myself have also seen a round spaceship. It looked like it had like almost like a Aztec or it had a really neat design on the bottom of it. It almost looked like the bottom of a turtle shell, if I could
Really
describe it.
interesting. Yeah.
And it was it was hovering over the top of somebody's house. This was at probably about midnight. And it was just kind of radiating there. And I was driving by and I was like, oh my God, did you see that? Oh my God, hurry up, turn around. And then by the time I was able to turn around and drive back, it had left the property.
Wow.
So, again, I'm very aware that they exist. I'm very intrigued with them. And I find them very, very spiritual beings that I think are more scared of us than we are of them.
Yeah. Well, because they'd be scared of us only because our military has been very aggressive over the last 70 years.
Correct.
And that's why they would be scared of us. Now, the orange object that was in the pond that was put on a flatbed, that intrigues me too, because if there was any intelligent life inside that object,
yes,
they could call out the object was being taken out with the beings inside the object.
And it actually looked just like the background of your picture, that spaceship that's there. It almost could be identical.
Yeah. So if they were doing a secret operation to lie to the people, number one, saying, oh, it was just it was just this thing they took out of the water, and people were noble enough to believe it, which I would, unfortunately people are. If you said, no, you're lying to us, we know there's something in there.
Yes.
I wonder what the military would have done if everybody stood their ground and said, you can't do this anymore. You're not going to do this. We live here. I wonder what they would have done.
I think sometimes, and this is just speaking from my own personal opinion, I feel like the government lies to us because they know that there are gullible people out there. They also know that a lot of people fear aliens and extraterrestrial life, but I think they've also conditioned our brain to believe that we should be scared of them because I think they've already formed so many alliances with them. They don't want more people to step over their boundary and take from the alliance that they had already made with the extraterrestrials.
Yeah, but in this case, is it this an alliance when they're taking an object out of the pond and lying to the people? What kind of alliance would that be? It's almost like they don't want people to know that they see this object there. There potentially could be intelligent life inside this craft that they put on the flatbed, and it's still glowing an orange glow. Was it still glowing according to the people?
I don't think so. They tarped the whole pond, and then according to the story I was told, when they raised the craft on the back of the flatbed truck, it was already like pre-covered with the tarp. So when they raised it up, you weren't really able to see the craft itself, period, because they covered the whole pond and then loaded.
So it could have still been glowing, but they covered up the whole spaceship.
Yes.
Interesting. Which leads me to believe that the occupants could have been still in the craft and they were waiting to get it to a undisclosed secret location to try to open it up, maybe.
Yeah, and I've been told by a good family member that they're the Greys, I guess is what they like to reference themselves as.
Or Zeta. They're Zeta, actually, but go ahead.
Yeah, so they, I've been told that from a family member that he has spoken to a Grey himself at Area 51.
Really?
But I was also told, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I was also told that the Area 51 is generalized for just craft exploration and building. They don't actually harvest or keep any of the aliens there.
So I can tell you at Wright-Patterson there's multi-level facilities where they have extraterrestrials that are in
captivity.
they're in captivity, but they're being held against their will.
Yes.
Where did he say the ETs were being kept? Did he say anything about that?
He did not specifically identify. I think when he had told me his story, he said he had met the ET at Area 51, but they didn't keep him captive there due to all the, people are always trying to like break into that area and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So
And what year was that? What year did he have that conversation?
God,
with
I was probably like 13 maybe, and I'm 31 now. So
yeah,
that was when,
long time ago.
Yeah, they were, I think back in the 80s, they had the telephone lines opened up for
Right.
any reports.
Well, they have multi-level facilities at Area 51 where initially they would have some of these ETs there. So he actually, back then when you were a kid, he talked about when he actually was there. He must have had high security clearance. He
Yes.
spoke to one of these Zeta beings and communicated with them, correct?
Correct.
Interesting. And when Attic is talking about, I know, hey, Attic, good morning. Area 52 is another area active also at Dugway. And then there's S4, which is up in the mountains above Area 51. But Wright-Patterson historically has been the place for Hangar 18, all these other things. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, I have a lot of knowledge about this. There are multi-level facilities below the ground of Wright-Patterson where they also have extraterrestrial spaceships that they've captured or crashed. And also they have in captivity extraterrestrial beings that they've held in captivity against their will at Wright-Patterson. And that they're in sectors below the ground of the surface base where they have them. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's absolutely true. Yep.
I believe it. That's beautiful. I wish that sometimes civilization would be more open-minded to, being friendly with the aliens, because I think the aliens have been so conditioned to believe that we're like harmful people here, and that's why they kind of live in the outer realm and we live in the inner realm.
Right. Well, you know what? I always try to teach people that there really aren't any aliens. That's a media pop culture word. If we use the word, because there's different types of beings, I always like to teach people one thing. There are lower vibrational ETs and there are higher vibrational spiritual beings that are human, light beings.
Yes.
So there's two different things here. There's the lower vibrational ETs, which are the reptilians, the Zeta, which people call grays. There are no grays. That's another media pop culture word. So there are, lower vibrational ETs. Most well-known are the Zeta Reticuli system and also the reptilians.
So
on the other side of the coin, you have the Astro Command, which I'm part of, which represents all the beautiful people from all the planetary worlds of light. These are what I call cosmic Christed beings of light. They're human, they're tall, they're about 7 to 9 or 10 feet tall, and they are human. And they have families, they live on other planets, and they don't live the way we do, but they're here to help us. Whereas the other ones worked with our government, and those are the lower vibrational. They do have spaceships, they can travel within this universe, but they can't go beyond it.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, they can't go beyond it because they've messed up. They cause a lot of problems.
Okay. So I have been my knowledge has been open up to some extraterrestrials, and they, I guess, what you're saying brings to my mind like the Arcturians, the Pleiadians.
Yes.
Yes, people of that descent. And I've done a lot of my own research to realize that. So us as human beings here on Earth have been given this physical body to exist on this planet because that's what this planet requires as a physical body to exist here. So if you were to per se go to a different planet like Mercury or the sun, or one that's really hot, you would need a different physical body or vessel to exist on that planet. So I don't know if you've heard about the New Earth. Supposedly there's been another planet that's so-called just like this one that they've discovered. Yeah.
And I know about the New Earth, but also the weird thing is there are many planets that are like ours. What they have found is not even close to what is going on. So many of the planets in the universe are very, very much alive and well with atmospheres like Earth. So many of them are more advanced than we are. Many other vibrational patterns beyond Earth. There are other planetary systems that have oxygen. People are human. They live. They breathe. Some planets have more oxygen than we do, which would mean that our bodies would have to adjust to their oxygen content. We think we have oxygen. Some planets have way higher oxygen content than we do on this planet, because we polluted our planet. So the oxygen content is lower than on some of these other planets where they don't have factories or antiquated types of things on the Earth, on our Earth. Once our planet's going into what you call going to be a new Earth, meaning this is considered the old Earth that we're living on, but we will be going into what we call a new Earth, where we will be living in harmonious relationship as these other planets do with the Creator, and our planets will be a more pure oxygen. We won't have factories. We're not going to have, all these things, poisons and everything that have been used on our planet. It's going to be way different for everybody, and that's something that I know for sure is going to happen, and it's going to happen within our lifetime. Meaning, it's going to be happening once contact is made. I hear the little kids saying
that's my Zai. He's listening.
You got your little kids going. There you go. So. The new Earth, I heard about the Earth they found, but the NASA knows more than what they're telling us. When they say, we just found a planet that's similar to ours, do you believe that they haven't known the fact that there are extraterrestrial beings on other planets? They know. They know they're out there. They didn't just find something. They've known about this forever. They've been covering it up. So they say, we found another planet that can have life like ours. Really? You're going to tell the public that now? Like we're a bunch of dumb people that don't know anything?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's a slow conditioning process.
They're trying to condition people,
Yeah.
But
that's
see,
on
Encounters, we're way ahead of the NASA people. And, we have a friend that has a friend in NASA who's sharing information with us, who has clearance and knows people with high security clearance in NASA. So we have information that's coming out, and he's very open about it. He doesn't like the fact that there's a cover up in NASA, and they're lying to the public. And he's bringing information when he comes on with his friend Ashley Bashley. She has a friend, and when she comes on, he comes on and joins us. He works for NASA, and he knows people that are friends of his that are just, they have high security cosmic clearance, and they want to tell the truth. He's getting the information and he's presenting it. That's the one thing about this show is we have people that are willing to come forward and share things that are being lied about by NASA on the front level. NASA is not telling the truth, and on the inner level,
NASA has gotten a lot of, I think, shade thrown at them for a lot of their discoveries or things that they try to hide. I do. If you read in the beginning of the Bible when it says God parted the waters and created the firmament, I have picked up on maybe a conspiracy that, when he parted the waters and created the firmament in which we live in, those are the exact words, that makes me believe when we had our last solar eclipse, I was at my home standing on the roof, and it really looked like, I was telling everybody I felt like it was a government reset to geolocation, because in my area, if you were looking at the sky, it was really cloudy. And if you looked through the white cloud space and looked into the blue, it actually looked like I was able to identify sea creatures like floating by. Like I saw a sea turtle and like some other things. And I was like, guys, it literally looks like this. They just made the sky cloudy because we're looking in the ocean and they're hiding all the sea animals we're passing. So it was.
Now, you know what? I'm interested. I'm going to bring some other people up with us. I'm going to bring this other person up. I'm bringing Debbie up. She witnessed the ship. Debbie is going to come up. Debbie witnessed the mothership, the size of it. I don't know what it is. Hopefully, Debbie, you can join us. Come on up here, accept my guest request if you're able to do it. This is Encounters, and I do this every once in a while. I'll bring more than one guest up. Let me put you on mute for a minute.
Hi.
Say hello, Debbie. Hey, Debbie. Good morning. Where are you located? I think who's got the dog, Debbie?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
You got the dog, and Tara's got the kids.
I'm putting them
There
out.
we go.
I'm putting the dogs out.
It's a family affair on encounters. So Debbie, I was reading your comment about the ship. Can you tell us a little bit of background where you are and when you saw the mothership?
This was back in 2012.
2012?
And I was heading to my daughter's. It was a cold winter day. I didn't have my radio on at the time, and it was on an interstate, actually, and it was broad daylight. It was cold out. I didn't have the windows down, and I was just driving along, and I noticed this big thing coming over right over top the trees over on my left side. So I'm looking up through my windshield in the car, and I'm like, what is this thing? And the more it come into view over top of my windshield, I'm driving along, I'm looking in my hammer lane to make sure nobody's in it so I don't hit them, and I'm trying to absorb everything off of this thing. I'm telling you, this thing was so close to me, it was a dull black. I could tell it was some kind of metal, but it was a dull black. And there was no windows, no way for it to even fly. There was nothing on this thing. It was at least 70 feet long.
Wow.
And the size of it was over a 3-story building.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And this is in 2012, correct?
Right. And what I felt from it, I felt the effects from it. It put me into a slowness I cannot explain.
That's cool.
Really?
It slowed everything down. Yes.
Now,
When I looked over to the other lane going westbound, okay, I looked over at it, and it was like everything just slowed down to a slowness I can't explain.
Do you think that you were, I'm almost tempted to say this, I think I might. Do you think that you were maybe taken on board the ship and don't remember?
I had talked to a MUFON person, and I told him my experience. He said, this is what he told me. He said, even though I was doing what I was doing, I was still driving. You know, I probably left off the gas and just was in an amazement.
Right.
And he said that it was actually trying to pull me into its reality.
Oh, the spaceship?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's why I felt the slowness. The slowness I can't
Really?
even explain. Yes. Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
He said it was trying to pull you into its reality. Did he say what he meant when he said that comment? That's really interesting. It's trying to pull you into its reality.
When I brought that up to him, that's when he told me they think this is interdimensional. They can come into our reality and go back out. That quick.
So, if, let's say, for example, that MUFON person is right, that this ship was trying to pull you into its reality, it was trying to take you off the planet into its reality where it came from, correct?
Right.
If that were the case.
Right.
So it was trying to do that when you were on the road.
Right. Car and
That's
all.
amazing.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Car and all. Yes. It's something that's, I didn't get pictures. I did a lot of research till I found this. And I asked him, has this kind of ship ever been reported? He said yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
He said so it's been reported by other people.
Yes. In their database. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And will these,
yes.
Did he say that they were having similar experiences when these ships were trying to take them into their other reality of these space people? Or
He did not tell me that, but he said mine was very close. And that's when he told me. Yes. He said to me that you had contact. You definitely had contact.
I think you had contact too. I think that you actually don't remember what the contact, you've seen the ship. I think you physically were taken into their ship, but you don't remember that part of it.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, you were definitely taken. Without a
I think
question.
you're on point there. I think they when she's talking about the feeling that slow motion, I feel like they kind of induce that so that way you don't fully remember, because they don't want
Right.
people to fully remember.
Right.
And I'm trying to tune into who these beings are. As old as the story is, I tune in and read people's energy. I'm usually on at night at 11. My show's like I've usually got 200 to 300 people on at night, and so yeah, very interesting.
Oh yeah. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
It's
I
something
really,
that's burned into my mind. I will never forget.
yeah.
I will
I
never
definitely,
forget this.
in
And this
terms of
happened
who,
back in 2012.
2012. Now, in terms of the beings or the space beings, I have a feeling I'm gonna take a leap on this, but I think they would have been. I think they were human. Actually, when I say human, they were not. They weren't reptilian or Zeta. I think they were actually human
Right.
beings from another planet.
But there's another thing I have to tell you. There was a jet chasing after this. He had to keep his distance. I seen the jet. He had to keep his distance, and he was close enough. I could actually see him sitting in the plane. It's one, I don't know what kind of plane that you call it, where the glass bubble comes down over, like the whole top of it's glass and comes down over top the pilot. Yes, he was close enough. I could see him in that plane.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I had talked to MUFON, and I told them I don't think I was close enough to the cameras on the interstate. And he said, honey, if they knew that was there, them cameras are pulled that quick.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Your
Yes.
story's amazing. Your story's amazing. You know, it's getting
Yes.
towards 10 o'clock. Can you come on tonight on my evening show?
No, I'm Eastern time. What time are you?
I'm Eastern. I'm in Connecticut. So we
You're
go
in
on
Connecticut?
yeah. So we start at 11 o'clock at night, and we do our 2-hour show, which is our regular show. We usually have about 250 to 300 people on the show every night watching it. So that's my big show. We're trying to do some morning shows here. That's why I'm on this morning. You know, but we'd love to have you on to tell the story to our nighttime audience too.
Okay. They told me that when they put this on a database and they look back at everybody's statements. He told me, this is when he told me they think this is interdimensional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely
you know,
interdimensional.
Under my knowledge, I was also under the impression that I believe the Lions Gates are open right now for spiritual entry and de-entry, or like leaving. So I think with the full moon last night and all the energy right now, I feel like the veil is very thin. So that's why we're having all this extraterrestrial contact right now, because it's kind of like their time with the Lions Gate open. It's their time to kind of let themselves be known a little bit, but not too much.
And let me say, in terms of the firmament, there is no firmament. Now, I know this is going to blow people's mind that the commander is saying there is no firmament, but there is no firmament, meaning that's another lie that's been told in books. So, and this is the deal. Space people can come and go to our planet any day, any night, any time, any moment. There's nothing blocking them. There's no invisible glass shield around our planet preventing people from getting out or getting in. That has been another perpetuated lie written a long time ago before current Earth history. It's just not real. Now, I know there are people that really, truly believe there's a firmament, but there is no firmament. And I can tell you that for sure from my perspective from the Astro Command, being from off planet from Mars, that there is no firmament. People have to just wake up and realize that's another matrix that we're going to bust. There are going to be people that are scientists that say there's a firmament, and I'll tell them there's no firmament. And if you believe there's a firmament, you've been lied to, because the only reason why you believe there's a firmament because you've heard it from other people or you've read about it on the internet. It doesn't exist. Right. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist at all. Space people can come and go. They can intertwine, go into other dimensions, other places in a nanosecond. Just
Facts.
because we as humans cannot do that doesn't mean that there's a firmament. It just means that we do not have the ability to do what our space people can do, which is travel in a nanosecond to planet B 20,000 light years away. There's no,
Yes.
no, I don't read the Bible. The reason why I throw out the Bible, I'm here to bust the Bible, the Matrix, and everything. And I'm telling people to throw out all that stuff and think for yourselves. You know, stop reading things that men wrote, because that Bible was written by people that had
Facts.
ideas, you know, people. And, you know, whether, you know, it doesn't matter, because when you come from off planet, you know, and I'm not from this planet, I do live the human life, there is no firmament. You know, I will say this to the day I have contact. There is no firmament. It doesn't exist. Those that believe it does, who are reading it in the Bible or anything else, it doesn't mean it's true. I can write a book and tell you a bunch of things. I can do a sci-fi book and say, this is what this is. And people would say, wow, that's really good. And it probably would be really good, but doesn't mean it's true. You know?
Right. It changed my perspective on life.
Right.
It did. It did. This is a technology that I felt from this that is beyond what we can even imagine.
Yeah. You know? And it really is different. So that Diane person, you need to wake up. People are not going to go missing. You know, if you're a religious person, you really believe that, that's not happening. So Diane, you need to wake up. I'm glad you're here, but if you're going to stick around here, I am going to bust your matrix. There's no firmament. Go out the Bible and start going to meditate, go within, and find out who you truly are, instead of relying on a book called the Bible. All right? Whether they do that or not, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to take Diane out because she's saying, ah, ha, ha. Evidently, Diane doesn't want to learn anything. Bye-bye, Diane. There you go. She's out. We took her out. And let's talk about God. So people saying it's God's word, don't pull that stuff, man, because I know what God is, and God is a loving being, which is God. God has no,
Yes.
Humans take God and use God in their own way, in their own words. All religions use God for whatever their purpose is. God sent us to war to liberate so-and-so planet because God wants to protect us in war. God doesn't do that. People write things, they create things on the internet, and then they use God's name for whatever they believe in. God's on the US dollar. How did that happen? Really?
Right.
Come on, folks. Really? You know, that people use God for control over other people. Stop doing that. It's
Right.
just not honest. God is
I
not,
think
has nothing to do with us. God has to do with love on all planetary systems in all the multiverse. So if you're a religious fanatic and you think God is going to do this and do that, wake up, get out of it, you know?
I've always described to my children that God is like an acronym, and it stands for good, orderly direction. And
Yeah.
if you ever have a voice inside of your head telling you, hey, you should pick that trash up and throw it in the garbage, or
Right.
move that stick out of the road or something,
So
that
this
is
person-
God speaking.
Now, this person didn't understand what I was saying. Vash, is it? I didn't say God is on US dollar, but it does say in God we trust on the US dollar. Does it not?
Yes.
Yes.
It does. So that's what I'm referring to. There's no God on the US dollar, picture of God. It does say in God we trust. So again, another misuse of the word God in terms, okay. And another misuse of the word God.
That's a good
You know?
point, Sea Monster.
You
He
know?
said that the religion is the first form of a government system, so it was made by humans to control humans. It's a good concept.
Okay, so this person wants to get into some stuff here. We're taking that person out too. So I'm going to take some people out. Vash is now out of here because he just wanted to be argumentative on the show here. Not happening.
I'm going to have to let you go. My dog keeps barking.
I got to go too. I'll be on tonight. As you know, as host of the show, I'm very aware if people start getting to be kind of ridiculous, I will take them out of here. We always have a good show. And when these people come in here with their religious stuff, we're going to take it right out. No problem. All right, everybody, we'll see you tonight at 11 on Encounters, the No One's Spiritual UFO Talk Show. I'm Commander. Hey, Kieran, thanks for being here. And Debbie, I hope to see you
Thanks for
tonight at
having
11 to tell your story. That's great. You both had great
Thank
things
you.
to talk about. And everybody have a great day. We appreciate you all. Take
Have a
care.
blessed day, everyone.
Thank you.
Positive vibes. That's right.